Bonjour, c'est Madame Veneman encore. Hi, it's Madame Veneman again, and this is my quick little video to show you how to use Google Classroom for my French classes, okay? All right, so first I'm going to start by saying that this is an older Google Classroom from a few years ago, okay? And yes, it does say over here, Français 2 en air, première période, okay? But don't worry about that because my Google Classrooms are still set up the same way for every level, for every class, okay? So you might not be in this exact class, right? But that's okay because it's all going to look the same. All right. So when you log on to our Google Classroom, you will be here on the stream. Okay. And I don't do a whole lot in the stream. All right. Sometimes I'll put announcements there. But I usually almost always announce those in class as well. And sometimes I will put links in there that we use during class, but that's about it. Okay. So the most important part of our Google Classroom is on the classwork page, okay, right next door to that. Okay, and if you click there, what you're going to see, a few sections here. And the first one is always going to be les devoirs, homework, okay? And I have a different, I'll have a different section for Q1, first quarter, Q2, second quarter, et cetera, okay? All right, so if there is devoir, it will be posted on Google Classroom here in the Les Devoirs portion by the end of the school day, okay? And we'll just click on one here, check it out. All right. So here, this assignment, it says complete the Camping de Printemps partie C story by conjugating verbs and parentheses in the passé composé past tense. All right. So gives you some instructions, tells you what to do. Also gives you a hint here, number 2. Also, I've included here, oh no, don't do that, madame. There we go. Okay. Also, I've included here, if you lost your worksheet or you were absent, here's the PDF of it. So you can either print it off at home or you can just click on it, look at it on your screen, and then write your answers on your own piece of paper. Okay, so woohoo for that. Yeah. Another thing that I am going to mention really quickly is that there are some teachers that when there's an assignment on Google Classroom, they always want students to hit submit. Make sure you submit on Google Classroom. That's not me. Okay. So if you're a student, you don't have to worry about that. Okay. But I like to say, get in the habit of checking Google Classroom. Okay. Not just for my class, but for all of your classes. Right. So try to pick a time where you can do the same time like every day, right? Maybe it's during lunch, maybe it's right when you get home from school, or maybe it's in the evening, when you're winding down, whatever, okay? But get in the habit of checking it, or during a study hall. Ooh, that's another good time, during a study hall. Yeah. But get in the habit, check the same time every day so that you can make sure, hey, am I missing anything? Oh, and you can get it done. All right, so that's Les Devoirs. That's going to be your first section on Google Classroom. If you scroll down below that, our next section is this online work late submit form. Okay, so let me explain to you what this is all about. Oftentimes, my homework assignments or sometimes in-class activities, we do things online. Like we will play a Kahoot or a Gimkit or things like that to practice vocab. So when I assign one of those for homework, when it's due, I will go and download the results, the stats page from that website, right? From Quizlet or Kahoot, whichever. And that's what I will use to grade and enter the grades in Progress Book. However, unfortunately, these websites like Quizlet, Kahoot, Gimkit, they do not send me notifications to let me know when someone has completed a Quizlet flashcard set or when someone has completed a Kahoot, right? They don't send me those notifications. And believe it or not, I don't have tons of spare time to sit around and just comb through the results every day on the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of Kahoots and Gimkits and all that we do throughout the year. So what that means is that if you're a student and you do some online work, maybe like a Kahoot, you do it late, right? And it could be you're doing it late because you're turning it in for partial credit for late, or it could be because you're absent and you're turning it in for full credit, right? Either way, whatever, okay? What I ask is that after you complete that assignment, right away, you come here and you click, because you're going to be on Google Classroom anyways to get the assignment right up here in the devoir, right? Okay. Then you come here and you click on this button, this online work late submit form, okay? And you click here. It's going to take you to this nice little page, a Google form, all right? It's really easy. It's going to record your email address, so you don't even have to worry about typing your name. You select which class period you're in. Then you're going to type in the name, the title of the assignment, okay? Which, if you need to know what that is, you click right back here. And let's say it's this one. Okay, let me check this assignment. Oh, Kahoot, présent ou passé composé. Hey, if you want, you can even copy paste right there, right? Okay, so you'll type that in there. You're going to also enter the original due date of the assignment, which if I pop right back over here, oh, look, it was due February 2nd. All right, got that. And then you're also going to tell me you're submitting it late because you're absent, you're doing it 1 day late for 75% credit, or you're doing it 2 days late for 50% credit. And last but not least, if you have any comments or anything else that you need to tell me about the assignment, you can type those in there and you hit submit, and that's all you got to do, okay? So that's for just online assignments. And I always write in like the on class section, if there's an assignment activité online that, you know, I'm taking for points for progress book, I will always type in a reminder there. Hey, don't forget to complete the submit late work form for this. Okay. All right. So it's just kind of like a virtual way of handing in a worksheet, right? Like if a worksheet was for homework and you're handing it in late, you still have to hand it into the teacher physically, right? So this is kind of the virtual way of doing that, right? Okay. All right. Let me go back here then. So online work late, we got that. And last but not least, definitely not least, is the on class section. Okay. This is probably, honestly, maybe the most important section on my Google Classroom. Okay. Because this is where you can find exactly what we did in class every day. Okay. And if you've been absent, this is where you need to go. Very, very, very important. Okay. It is students' responsibility to get on here and check this. And we also discuss in class, when should we check that? Like a month after you're absent? Nope, that's way too late. Okay. I tell students, at the very least, get this checked, take a look at the on class your next day back to school. Okay. And I like to tell my classes, even if that means the first couple minutes of my class, you're sitting there and you've got your computer open and you're looking through and you're reading through the on class for the day you were absent the day before, that is fine. I am fine with that. Okay. But let's take a look at what one looks like. All right. So this one, mercredi le 3 juin, that's the date. So you just click on the date that you were absent. This is always all in English. All right. So no questions there, right? Very easy for everybody to read, hopefully. And I like to tell people up here, anything in bold requires action from you. And then anything which is underlined also requires action from you, because that's work that has to be made up for points in progress book. Okay. All right. And then if we come down to this next line, en classe, mercredi le 3 juin, en means in class. This is the only part that's in French. Okay. But in class, Wednesday, June 3rd, we. And then you can start reading through here step by step. It tells you what to do. All right. So numéro 1, did a short reading activity in partners to practice the imparfait past tense. And then, oh, bold, action from the student. Yeah. Okay. In order to make up for this missed in-class activité, click on the PDF entitled FR2H Petit Garçon Triste 2 and follow the instructions on the PDF, right? And if I scroll all the way down to the bottom here, oh, there it is. There it is. Yay. Okay. All right. Moving along to numéro 2. took a mini quiz over the imparfait tense endings. See or email Madame on or before your next day back to class to schedule your makeup quiz. Okay, this is one reason why on class is so important, okay? Because students in my classes get the amount of days that they were absent plus one to get their quizzes and tests made up, all right? And I'm pretty hardcore on that. I like to be strict. I like people to get their things in, get it done on time. And quite honestly, that's to help the student, because if you would wait a month to make up a quiz or a test, is that material going to be as fresh in your brain? Probably not, right? You're probably going to do a lot better if you get it done as soon as you can, okay? So this is, and it's the student's responsibility, once again, to contact me, right? Okay, that you can, like I said, you can either see me or email me and get that makeup quiz set up, okay? I also tell students, this is why I tell them to check on class. Don't just ask a partner, right? Okay, because your partner or your friend, your classmate, they might have the best intentions, but if you ask them, hey, what do we do in class Friday? Maybe they forgot, right, that we had a quiz, okay? And if you wait around until, the missing or the zero shows up in progress book, ooh, that might be too late to make it up the quiz, right? Okay, so that's a big thing. I tell students, don't just rely on waiting for that zero or that missing in progress book. You got to get on here and check that, right? Especially if it's a test. Sometimes big tests might take me, like a week to get graded. Yeah. And if you only miss one day of school, ooh, yeah, you've only got a couple days to get that made up, right? So, anywho, I hope that makes sense. So, all right. Numéro 3, we played a game to review colors vocab. And so it'll tell students here, in order to make up for this missed in class activity, click on the Quizlet link, go through the flashcards, and I even tell them how to do that, right? Or how the best suggested way to do that. So look at the picture, say the word aloud in French, and flip the flashcard to check yourself, okay? So they're going to do that 2 to 3 times to make up for that activité, okay? It's not always this exact same way, looking at the picture, saying the word aloud, right? That's usually more towards the, like, after we've been working on vocab for a little while. At the beginning, I like to go the other way around, right? Where they're looking at the French word, reading the French, and, thinking of the image or maybe saying it in English, all right? Okay, moving along here, did a worksheet. This is, by the way, this on class is one that I made up. It's not actually completely real, okay? So it does look like there's a lot on here, but normally we don't have quite this much, all right? So anywho, but down at the bottom, very last thing, numéro 5, the very last thing is always les devoirs, okay? And if there's no devoir, it'll just say rien, which means nothing, okay? However, keep in mind, even if there's no homework, you can always be on Quizlet for about 10 to 15 minutes a day reviewing old vocab. Yeah. All right. But this time it tells you there's a Kahoot. You can see the full assignment details in the Les Devoirs section of Google Classroom. And oh, look right there. Don't forget to fill out the submit online work late form as soon as you finish the assignment. Yay. All right. So that is on class. And that pretty much is it for my Google Classroom tutorial. If you have any questions or concerns, please reach out to me. Usually email is the fastest way to get a hold of me, veneman.rebecca@oakwoodsschools.org. Merci beaucoup. À demain, or à bientôt, à plus tard, au revoir. Oui, one of those.